Welcome back to part 2 of the Weekend of Champions here at Snetterton. Now, the Super Pro VAG Trophy has been a fantastic season, and we have 3 battling for the championship. Martin Walsh, Tony Taylor and Paul Taylor.
Feeling very, very confident. We had a good run yesterday, second for most of the race, a little mishap towards the end and finished 4th. The Taylor heating car is absolutely flying, so we believe that it could be our championship. We've won Class A and looking to try and take it overall.
I need to beat Martin or finish just behind him to win the Class B, and I'm lying second in Class A or the overall championship. If Paul didn't finish, then I could win the championship overall as well. Be very, very nice.
I'm a little nervous at the moment, and to be honest, no one's more surprised than me that we're in this situation at the minute. But the car's been ultra reliable all year. Jabba Racing have put together a fantastic car for me, and we're finishing in the top 4 every race. So yeah, it's exciting to be there, and I think the Taylors will be pushing hard as well. But it's been a good season and very clean racing all the way through.
So the race season may be over, but not everything stops during the winter period. We've got some fantastic events coming up, and one of the most important is the charity race experience at Snetterton. I'm here with Sean Taylor, who's going to tell us more. Sean, thank you very much for joining us. So tell us a little bit more about the race experience.
Well, essentially what we've done is me, obviously I'm Sean, Kevin Foley and Devon Goss got together and decided we wanted to raise money for charity, but actually have a nice spin on it at the end of the day. And my background's racing anyhow, so we came up with the idea of offering passenger rides to general public around Snetterton circuit.
What's the charity for then?
It's OMHC charity, which is Ronald McDonald Hospice charity, and essentially what it does, it provides housing for parents with sick children. So obviously as they're ill, they can actually be close by. So it's a fantastic charity.
Well, it's the final race of the 2012 Super Pro VAG Trophy. With everything to play for, this looks set to be a fantastic race. Ben, it's over to you.
Certainly promises to be a very close one, and the damp conditions once more giving us a slightly jumbled grid, what we normally expect. So in pole position it's Andy Thompson with Dave Carvell alongside him on the front row, then James Bark, and then Simpson row 2. The always fast starting Paul Taylor needs to row through with Liam McMillan alongside him, but the side-by-side grid means it's very, very tight. So unfortunately Tony Taylor will be starting from the pit lane, so frustrations for Taylor. Hopefully that will rectify itself during the race as the red light's about to come on here at Snetterton, and the final race of the Super Pro VAG Trophy 2012 gets underway now, and away we go. It's a brilliant start as ever from Taylor in the red Golf, but such a narrow start and finish area, it's going to make it very hard for him to squeeze through as Tony Taylor joins the action from the pit lane. Another car follows out in his wheel tracks, but it's Andy Thompson in the set who leads into riches for the first time. He's got Liam McMillan right on his tail. Then we've got Dave Carvell and Paul Taylor also jinking through. Everybody cleanly through riches for the first time. It's Andy Thompson who's got that advantage from the red Seat of Liam McMillan. Then Dave Carvell follows in pursuit in the Scirocco before we get to Paul Taylor. The rest of the pack all diving through the hairpin at Montreal. This is nice battle of shape at the front of the field. The very experienced Andy Thompson, who has got Liam McMillan right on his tail. Then we've got Martin Cully, who is going to be somewhat busy. He's just had the rest of the field at the moment behind him. As Chris Adams looks to get himself up to speed in his immaculate Golf, as unfortunately Tony Absalom has encountered some trouble. So problems for Absalom, and unfortunately that looks very terminal for him. A disappointing end to the season for Absalom. Let's hope he's not dropped too much in the way of fluid on the road, as with his wipers working, Liam McMillan settles in to the slipstream behind Andy Thompson, accelerating along the Bentley straight into the braking zone for Brundle and Nelson. They come, and Liam McMillan pressurising Thompson here, trying to force the error for him, but at the moment he can't quite do it. So it's Andy Thompson who leads the way. Thompson, who is maybe better associated with his exploits at Brands Hatch in the various saloon series and championships that run there, but when he does venture away he's often very competitive. At the moment he's showing a fairly clean pair of heels to Liam McMillan, but McMillan, quick driver, very experienced, will try and pressurise that mistake from Andy Thompson, who hits the brakes into Murray's and goes straight on across the grass, and that's the mistake we were talking about as he splashes his way back on track. And Liam McMillan will have few easier overtaking moves to the lead during the course of 2012. He takes the advantage, but will to be able to get back on terms with him. Also, we've still got Dave Carvell and Paul Taylor not too far back either, as is Martin Cully, who hugs against the pit wall, streaking through, completing the lap. But this is now the battle that's coming together, the one for second and third. Unfortunately, the battle that's come together rather of Andy Thompson's making. The rest of the pack all streaking over the line. Such a quick section of the circuit, so straight as Chris Adams looks to pick his way up through the field past some of the Class B runners. Martin Walsh, his next target in the bright blue. 96 cars, unfortunately, into the pit lane comes Tony Taylor. So Taylor, well, he started in the pit lane, and his race looks like it may have finished in the pit lane after just a solitary lap. The field, at least ahead of it, just beginning to string themselves out ever so slightly as Paul Taylor runs in fourth, trying to close in on Dave Carvell. But if things stay as they are, that's going to be enough to give Paul Taylor the 2012 title. So he doesn't need to push any harder than he is at the moment, consolidating that fourth position. So I'd be surprised if we saw Paul Taylor going all guns blazing to overhaul Dave Carvell. There's another nice battle going a little bit further back at Simon Tomlinson, who's just to the head of that one, ahead of Paul Tahadri. Tahadri in the white car, though at the moment can't quite pick his way past Tomlinson. They've got Martin Walsh up on their tail as well. And this is one of the beauties of the Super Pro VAG trophies, that you do see cars from the Volkswagen Auto Group of all shapes and sizes, Golfs of various vintage Seats as well. There's another car into the pit lane, that is Mike Smith. And frustration for Smith as he heads immediately to Parc Ferme. And still climbing up the order is Chris Adams. His next target is Len Simpson in the Volkswagen Vento. Turning through the bomb hole goes Adams. Very attractive livery car, that one. Climbing onto the tail of the Vento VR6 Cup, of course, going back many years. A very, very spectacular one-make championship. It's good to see those cars still being campaigned, but unfortunately, then Simpson's example gets demoted into Murray's around the outside of the Coral Curve. That's a really nice move as well from Chris Adams to make that pass as he continues his elevation up through the pack. Unfortunately, Brian Passmore has come to a rather more abrupt end to his season against the tyre barrier, as all the while Liam McMillan in full control of this race, as he has been since that mistake from Andy Thompson earlier on. Thompson, though, is coming back onto terms with him here, and this isn't completely settled yet for Liam McMillan. Heading through Nelson on towards the bomb hole, and Thompson is closing up onto his tail. And on such a greasy surface, it's very, very easy just to overstep the mark. You barely know that you've done it. And then the next thing, you realise you're heading towards the barriers. But at the moment, McMillan in command of this one. He's just got one corner to go as he heads around Murray's, plants his right foot, accelerates onto the centre straight. The checker flag is ready and waiting, and it's going to be victory in the Super Pro VAG trophy for Liam McMillan. Second place goes the way of Andy Thompson, who does chase him all the way to the line, with then Dave Carvell taking third. But all lies to the man in fourth position, because Paul Taylor is going to win the 2012 title. He's being trailed to the line by Martin Cully, but fourth and the title for Paul Taylor. And then completing the top five, Martin Cully, with James Barr claiming Class B honours. It's been a very fine season's driving for Paul Taylor, and he is a worthy champion for 2012 in the Super Pro VAG trophy. So let's take a look at the final race classification, with victory for McMillan, Andy Thompson second, and Dave Carvell completing the podium. James Barr, as we said, wins Class B in seventh. Handshake for Paul Taylor from the team. He won for 2012. Was celebrating on the top step of the rostrum. Liam McMillan, he has had a very successful trip to Snetterton this weekend. And James Barr celebrating his Class B victory as well.
Yeah, I'm pleased with how it's gone, really. Good weekend for us. Very slippery conditions.
Very, very good. So will we see you again next year?
We'll see. Yeah, I might do, if I do next year, probably do a full season. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I just sort of mingled in, really, and there's a lot of faster cars. So yeah, just sort of going and doing normal thing, really.
Are we going to see more of you next year then?
Depends, really. I'm if I get time, then yeah, but otherwise just see what happens really.
Paul, congratulations, 2012 champion.
Yeah, what a superb weekend. We started third and probably the underdogs of the three out there, and we've just scored some sensible points this weekend, and the Taylor Heating cars come home trumps. A superb weekend.
Slow and steady has really been your name for this year, hasn't it? It's just been brilliant.
We've just consistently scored points. We've only had 2 wins, but really been thereabouts all the time, and it really has paid dividends for us.
Well, in terms of the championship in Class B, it's Martin Walsh who claims the title from Tony Taylor and Rob Allam. Class A, the overall champion Paul Taylor from Daniel Rose and Len Simpson. In the standings overall, it is Paul Taylor by just 1 point from Martin Walsh on drop scores.
Well, that's it for us here at Snetterton. What a season it's been for both the Super Pro VAG Trophy and the Mark II Golf GTI Championships. See you again in the spring for some more exciting racing.